What's up, people? It is Mitchell&Mitchell, Sip&Spill here in the house. Your boy Ed, a.k.a. Sip, and my partner over there.
Kimmy Kim, a.k.a. Spill. What's up, y'all?
What's good with y'all selves? We is getting in the house today. And listen, today is a special treat, personally for me, because my best friend coming up in high school, my brother from another mother, my boy from Illinois, my guy from the Chi, sitting right here, my man right here, Kevin T. Vasser. We're talking to my buddy. We've been friends. So how long, Vasser, we've been friends, bro?
Man, okay, we gotta be messing with at least almost 30.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say 31 because it was 1991 we became friends.
Wow.
And it's 2022.
Yeah.
Which last year would have been 30, so we missed that 30 threshold. So it'll be 31 years, man. And here's the thing about it. Let me tell you what's so funny about that. I'm only 31 years old. Ain't that something? And he's 30.
That's why I have a tough time remembering.
Y'all know that,
I know. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
You know, first of all,
Pray for him.
since y'all got these cool names, y'all got to call me Kevin Kev.
Kevin Kel, let's do that.
I gotta get
they
in the
always
flow.
trying to come
I
for
gotta
my
get in
name,
the.
y'all.
No.
It's just Kimmy Kim. He tried to be Eddie, but he just said.
I got to get
Now,
in the
Kevin,
flow.
you just gonna have to be Kevin.
You gonna give me the deal?
I'm gonna give you that.
Okay.
Man of God.
Kevin.
So today, and what's very important, and this is not unfamiliar territory to us, but today I thought it important because my friend is embarking on another musical project. This is not his first. Definitely will not be his last, and he's been around the block a few times. Because we have a platform now, I felt it'd be fitting to sit down and talk to my boy to break down his experiences, his I guess what he's done with for the last few years, what the project means to him now, and the whole nine. So, Vasser, I'm gonna go ahead and start and ask you a few questions. A lot of us already know, but for the Sip&Spill fans and the people who don't Power 104.9 and WSEV radio may not necessarily know exactly. Vasser, how long? And first of all, who are you? What are you? And what do you do?
Well, I'm just a regular brother from the south side of Chicago.
Yes.
God gifted me at a young age to sing. And through my father, my family, musical family, my father just kind of cultivated that. And he was like what we call the gospel Joe Jackson.
Yep.
And kind of got me and my brother and cousins in the music business. But as far as the lane that I feel like, I'm not going to say I chose, but chose me. My dad is a pastor, a preacher, just like yours. Everybody might not know that about you. But, so growing up, I didn't have much of a choice. Church was my option.
Okay.
And so for me, I just fell in love with it. And just fell in love with singing, man. And so over the years, from a kid, and really as long as I can remember, man, being able to talk, I've always tried to sing. Now, I'm not going to say I was always doing good, but I always tried. You know what I'm saying? And so just doing that path in life, growing up, even when we met in high school, man, I was still doing the singing thing. And so I just kind of stuck with it, man. Through the ups and downs of my life, man, I can say that, singing has definitely been my lifeline. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm going to stick to it, man, because it gives me life.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. I want to talk about, you started singing, and this is basically your call. It shows you, and I kind of want to go through the history of like how you started, like the trials and tribulations, and then what formulated. Because there's a bunch of nuances, and there's changes, and it's a huge evolution of how everything came together. And I love how you formulated. But I want to start from the beginning, from the groups, and then going on from there, and what you end up doing. Just real quick, and let the people know. This is Elder Kevin T. Vasser right now. Okay, this is just my boy Kevin, and he's out here, and right now we're in the beautiful Fellowship Church right now, Fellowship Chicago.
Yes, beautiful.
And so break it down, come down from when you started singing and how that all evolved from here then to now.
Absolutely. So like I said, I started as a kid. While I was a kid singing, I come from a large family, and so just about four of us from my family, which consisted of my brother Keith and our two first cousins, Reggie and Van. They formed a group. And so back in the day, I'm going to date myself, there was a popular TV show that was called Kids Are People Too. Mm-hmm. That was the name of the group, okay? Because I was 5 and 6, you know how how you do when you got the younger brother, they played me. I couldn't be in the group, so they started without me. And I used to be upset and heard crying about it. So my dad saw that, And so he literally made them put me in the group. So at 6 years old, and the rest of them were like 7 and 8. So you know when you small, that's a big gap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we would sing, and sometimes they had to put me on a crate so people could see me. And so we started doing that. Then we got to our teenage years. You know, we didn't feel like we were kids anymore. So the evolution was real strong during that time. New Edition was strong. Everybody loved New Edition. So we started singing. We always had choreography, you know, little moves and everything. So some people started to call us Youth Edition, you know, as a spinoff from New Edition.
Okay.
So we were like the gospel version of New Edition. So we took that name. And so we started singing around Chicago, different cities. And then from that, man, we were able to win. They used to have a music seminar here in Chicago with WGCI. So we entered WGCI, and it was mainly a secular competition, but we entered doing gospel, and somehow, some way, we won first place.
Awesome.
And the first place prize for that was a record deal with an independent record label here. So we signed the record deal, or single actually, did the single did well, and so we ended up doing a record with that record company, IMI Records, Bobby Francavilla. Taking me back, yeah. And so once we did that, we started building so much momentum on that independent that we were actually able to sign with Universal Records. So we did a gospel record with Universal Records, and this was back in the day, you know, when really Mary was just coming out, and so we did that, man. Had great success, traveling and doing all of that. Then we were all like in our early, well, I was like in like 19, 20. Everybody's in their early 20s. So then everybody just started to get married, and then you started to evolve into your life. And so we just kind of took a hiatus as far as from the group. But like I said, music has always been my lifeline. So from that, I ventured off and I did my first solo project. Then I did my second solo project. And then, you know, over time, I was able to join here at Fellowship, which is my home church. I've been here actually 20 years now.
I was going to ask you. I remember when you became here, when you left from the old church, when you came up with Rexel and all those guys and and all them. It's a lot of rich history there. And then you came over to here, and I remember when you became the worship and arts leader here. I remember that. I didn't remember what year it was, but it must have been 2002.
Well, yeah. When I first came, I was actually just a worship leader. Then Pastor Emeritus, Pastor Jenkins, he gave me the young adult choir. Then from that, I moved to the minister of music. Then from that, which is the title I have now, I'm the director of worship and art. So, so under being here with Fellowship, we released a couple of albums as well, and so I did some songs on all those records, and so just kind of building my catalog, man. And so now, after I did the Fellowship records, my group, Youth Edition, decided to get together again now that we're older and still wanted to do another project. And so now, you know, we were too old to be Kids Are People too, so we realized we were too old to be Youth Edition. So we came and we kind of rebranded ourselves, and we came up with the name Kinsman, which represents all of us being kin. And so we released that project around Christmas of last year. And really excited about that because, we were able to do that on our own label, on all our masters, and so we were able to come from signing to other labels and people telling you how to do things to pretty much controlling our own destiny. And so that was really monumental for us. And so from that season, you know, during the pandemic, man, when everybody was down, and you know, I just really felt like during my private time, man, God just kind of started pouring back into me music. So I just started listening and writing it down, man, or putting it in my phone, rather. Right. So now, man, I'm getting ready to do my third solo project, man. I'm really excited because this one, out of the other two, you know, I've always written songs on my projects, but for this one, I've written every song that we'll be doing, and so I'm really excited about it.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm doing that, so I'm really, you know, when you write songs, as you know, it's like they're your children, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just really excited to just share that, you know, with the world. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So going all the way down to the history, Kim, what you think? What you want to ask Brother Kev? I'm
sipping too while we talk. Right.
We're
in church, but I'm sipping tea.
Sipping tea.
You know,
I want to make sure I'm with the fundamentals of the show.
Okay.
But this is some good old mint tea, Doc.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, amen.
All right.
Hallelujah.
You're drinking tea. My question to you is, why gospel?
You know, that's a great question because I listen to all music. So I want to make it clear, as June knows, or Ed, he knows You know, I'm very balanced. You know what I'm saying? I just think it was the way I was raised and what my parents put into me, and I just fell in love with gospel music. So I do it because I love it. How about that? Yeah. Now I used to do a lot of weddings and stuff, but you know, you got to do where your passion is at. And I think for me, that's where my passion is. I've always been approached like, yo, you need to do secular. You can make more money doing that. But I just think that, and I actually may do like a love record centered around love, because I do believe that God is love. And so there's nothing wrong with it, but just for me, it's just been my passion. So I just kind of stay in my lane.
And a lot of people don't, realize that your passion is kind of what make you evolve.
Exactly.
So I would say from you making that decision at a very early on age, you was 19 and 20, you said, when you first decided, where a lot of young men were doing a whole bunch of other things at that time and that age. Where would you say that came from? That was your upbringing as well, where you was just rooted in church? And
I was rooted in church, man. And I do believe, man, church saved my life.
Okay.
Because in the streets of in Chicago, and Ed will tell you, man, we met in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally became my covering. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of stuff. I was so sheltered, just going to church, going to school. So when I started hanging out with him, I don't know if you remember our first day at Jones. We went to Jones. Well, it was Jones Commercial at the time, but now it's Jones College Prep. Okay. We would leave school and just be downtown hanging out. And so, you know, in Chicago, you know, downtown, it's a special place to be. You know, you can be in one area and then you can make a left and be in another area. And so, you know, I just literally started just kind of learning how to evolve in the world and just, you know, being outside of the church, not being around my family, you know what I'm saying? But I just think for me, it's really about your passion, and then for me, it saved my life. So like right now, my son, KJ, he's getting ready to go off to college and everything, but I tell everyone, I didn't push, you know, he loves the Lord, he's a believer, but I didn't make him do church kind of like my parents did. I wanted him to kind of choose his lane, so he loves basketball. But I believe that basketball, because that's his passion, that has saved his life. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have an opportunity to be out in the streets, and you know, sometimes when you have a lot of idle time, that's when you get in trouble. All right?
That's fact.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
By him being so dedicated to basketball, being in the gym every day without us telling him, I feel like that has kind of carved his lane, and he didn't really have a desire or opportunity to have an idle mind to get into different, you know, negative situations. So I believe if you can identify your passion, whatever that is, if it's hosting your podcast, doing a radio show, that's your passion, and you put all that energy into that, I think good things come from that.
I completely agree.
Yeah, so we're sitting here today, but you know, next year, you know, we might be sitting in California, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Or looking over the hills, you know what I'm saying?
Which come without help.
Come on, you still got
Because
that.
the help coming from where?
Absolutely.
Huh? Where the help come from?
No, we're going to take her slow. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. What's next?
I'm not going to allow him to say, Ed already gets on me all the time saying I don't know stuff.
Listen, my partner grew up in church. When I tell you I don't know what church that was, I'm like, you don't know Marvin Sapp? No,
So
who
he
is
just
that?
gonna put
You know
me
who
on
Fred
blast.
Sam Hanford is? Fred, I'm saying.
He just
Fred
put
Hammond.
me on blast. He just okay.
She like, I don't know that song. You don't know John P.
don't.
King? I'm like, I don't know what church she went to, man. She like,
I went to Church of God, 46 in Drexel. Pastor Gordon was. And
Gordon?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard
That's
that.
where I grew up.
Yeah, that's cool.
okay,
Good.
So I
okay.
don't
Girl,
know
shout
a
out
lot
to
of songs
shout out to that
y'all
church
might
on
To
know.
46.
Pastor Gordon.
Shout out to Pastor Gordon. What up, Kimmy? Kimmy, tap on my man.
Being Ed's friend, what would you say the most contribution he gave you?
The most You know what? Ed was like this in school. Now, we were always... No, I'm not going to get you. We were always the class clowns.
Please
okay?
get him. He got
So
it.
that's how we connected, first of all. Like, when we came to school, and we had another partner, Lynn Reed. So it was like...
What up, Lynn? You
Like,
gonna see
what up?
this?
So what we would do is like you get in class, you crack a joke, he crack a joke. So it was that synergy. It was like, okay, we on the same vibe. But what I discovered from Ed was we would be in class clowning all the time. Then when it come time for a test, I'd be struggling because I would still be clowning when I went home. Ed would always be able to get up and talk like he's doing now, and sound like he knew what he was talking about. So what he taught me was, you could be a clown, but let's still be productive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I gathered, because I was joking all the time.
Okay.
But he would joke, but then when it would be time to speak in class, he had to teach his fool. Like, he was really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what I got from him. You thought I was going to go, you thought I was going to say something else.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine, because you could go down here, but it's just, this is centered around you, so I don't want it to put you, But it was so funny because he called me one day. He said, man, what's wrong with you, man? You must be a nerd. So he called me a nerd in class.
Why?
Because he said, man, I was up on the phone with you last.
We was on the phone all night, and I'm like,
talking about in three-weighing people, all type of stuff.
When are you studying? Like, how do you know this stuff? Because I know we together. And I know I didn't know the answer.
Okay.
So
Mr. Parker, you remember
Mr. Parker.
History class.
Yeah, Mr. Parker. That was we had some great times.
Yeah, man.
You know what's a blessing I want to say is that to see people still be friends after so many odd years. Well, life has changed so many times, from marriage to having children to becoming a father. Because when you and Ed was friends, you wasn't having children. You wasn't a father. You were still trying to figure out your own very own manhood.
We was enjoying life.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that said, to come full circle.
Yeah.
30 plus years later, and to be sitting next to each other, a lot of people have buried their friends. A lot of people have not seen their friends. A lot of people is just in so many different phases of their life that they've never reconnected. So it's a blessing to have a friendship to still be.
And what I love about me and him, I mean, we don't even say friends. We're brothers at this point. But what I love about him is that high school, we got married. It was like together every day, around each other all the time. And so sometimes as you get older and you evolve, we don't see each other as much. But I do know, hands down, when I'm in trouble or if I need him, I'm calling him, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I never forget. I ain't about to try to get serious, but when his mother passed, you know what I'm saying, I just never forget it. You know what I'm saying? He called. It was like 10 at night, and it wasn't even a question. You know what I'm saying? And so, sometimes you have people around you all the time, but they're not really for you in your corner.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they say keep your enemies close. And, for me, man, I just kind of have that situation a lot where you have a lot of people that say they're for you, but then necessarily, you'll see their true colors. I think we all see that. But for him, I know without a shadow of a doubt, this is my best friend. No doubt about it. And so I just hang on to that. I don't need no more best friends as I get older. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like they gotta. No, I'm good, because the history that we have, we're gonna keep that what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't need. That's all right. Yeah. So this my dog, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so. I feel so like blessed and honored and full circle, and like Kimmy was saying earlier, like having friends for so long, I feel like this is a very pivotal point in our lives where I feel blessed to be able to talk to my brother about his project. I've always been proud of him, all the things he's done. Is that who I think it is?
Yeah, man.
Hey, gorgeous. Hey, now.
That's my baby mama coming in.
Right. Okay. That's the one that told me to leave her man alone at Ruth Chris when we was doing too much.
All right now.
And and we do this on the show. We impromptu like that. So, but I think it's a good thing, a dope thing to be able to go full circle and be able to, at different places in our lives, we can do and celebrate each other in that place. I had the honor of singing with him for a few years.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like my first 2 records, he was with me.
Yeah. We had a great time, great run. It was the most fun thing in the world, and it was so funny when he asked. I'm gonna do my own little personal thing with him. He said this story about me, but my thing with him is that this is gonna stay toward the music. One of the things that I love about him. This is a fact. So I got 2 favorite singers in the world. It's him and my little brother RJ, which you've met.
Yeah.
And what I say is that these 2 guys, and my brother kind of emulates him. He gets it from him.
He's past me now, Dad.
He's
gone.
He's gone. Kevin would be somewhere. This is how he would be. We had our group. I ain't gonna put our group out there. We had our group.
Go ahead.
We had our
El Ray, Jeff, Dave. Right. Come on, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
We listen. We had our group and we sang somewhere at this little banquet thing, right? We did our thing. We was doing our thing or whatever. Kevin had to come up there And he was by himself. He said, man, play this. Blah, blah. He got up there and everybody was eating their food.
Lord.
Kevin did some stuff and got everybody out their seat from eating. Now, what we did, people were still eating like, all right, y'all do y'all thing. He was by himself.
You had to stop chewing, Kevin?
No, I think they were still eating. You know, we're not going to stop eating. I don't care what it is.
I'm saying he's done things. He's the one guy that could change. We'll be in the middle of a song. He'll be like, no, we're going to go somewhere else with it. Mm-hmm. And he'll revamp the entire vibe. He is a guy that if you did sound check, his sound check was just crazy. It's as crazy as a concert. So if you come and do sounds, you have people do their sound check.
Mini concert.
But it just be so dope. And he'd do a vibe like, let's do this, and we'll do something. That's the one guy. He kind of got that Marvin Winans on him. That's his idol.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Marvin Winans could ad lib. Right. It don't matter. You could talk about red carpet. Right. And Marvin Winans gonna do something with red carpet and tie it into Jesus some kind of way. Mm-hmm. And so that's what he would do. And that was the thing. So it's like when he was like, man, come sing with me. I'm like, man, you know what? It was the funnest thing in the world because every time we go out there, you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. And
he would take a crowd. I remember we opened up for Fred Hammond, and Fred Hammond was waiting on the crowd to stop chanting to have him come back. We opened up for him. It was crazy. So yeah, it was like what was it? It was I forgot. It was one of the songs, and it was one of your album or one of the title tracks of your album. One touch, boom, boom. One touch, boom. Yeah, they would not let him. And then you get him one of those like quartet type of stuff. That's his thing. He's going to kill that. Then if you go to worship, that's a whole nother story.
See why I say he's my best friend?
Absolutely.
So it's stuff like that. But it's like when I go there with him, I felt powerful. It was like I wasn't. I said, so here's the funny thing. He mentioned our group. I loved our group, but we couldn't do a curtain call, and that means if you had your 4 songs practiced, you do them. They said, do one more. No, we
couldn't do it.
No, you could try one, but you got to be ready. And everybody wasn't ready. He'd do some impromptu stuff, and I knew if we didn't practice it, we didn't go over it. And if he started it, it'll flow. And if he knew we was trash in the background, he's just like, y'all just be quiet. Let me do this. And he'd handle it by himself. So that's one of the things I loved about him. And he was doing that from high school. I was like, this dude is just different. Some people do things and they all about like there's some guys that they very acrobatic vocally. They do all that stuff, runs and all that kind of stuff. He could do that, but his thing was more so the crowd.
Okay.
He would get people involved. He's a live performer. And if you saw that, so that's my little spill on that with my sip and spill today about my boy. But personally, he's a brother that when I called him, he would always keep me accountable. And I'm gonna give you one story particular, and when he brought her name up.
Okay.
And he was the one that taught me to honor my mama.
Yeah.
He taught me to honor my mama, and now we'll be out and going to kick it. He said, "Hey man," so he get on the phone and call his mama. "Hey mom, man, Ed is out. I know you thought we was coming home a little bit, but we're gonna be out a little late. I just want to call you, let you know I love you. I'm gonna be out a little late." Like, okay, your turn.
And he had,
yeah.
So he was responsible.
Mama. Yeah, he said, call your mama and tell your mama we're gonna be. Let me call your mama. So he did that from an early age. And so my mama was his mama, just like Miss Sarah, Sister Sarah is my mama too.
You know, it's crazy. I just got off the phone with her on my way here.
Yeah, and he called his mama it was a regular basis.
Yeah, man.
So real quick story. Remember that time we was on the L? This is how we were. We was kids in the city, and I was talking about how we going to school. I did a show one time, Vasser, talking about how we were going. Our parents sent us to school on a bus and a train, and we're grown people and crackheads and winos, man. Yeah. And we don't know what we was gonna run into. So I remember one time, me and Vasser decided we're gonna buy some cologne.
Yeah.
Off the street.
Yes, sir. I do remember
man,
that.
What your mama say, man? Remember she
said it was the worst thing she ever smelled.
Yeah, she said it smelled like lemon juice.
Lemon juice, yes. She did say that.
She said, Vasser, this stuff smell like lemon juice.
People be selling stuff on the street.
Y'all bought it off a
But we smelled it and was like, yo, this is killing.
Oh my God!
I put it on the next day. She did, but you know, my mom been talking about me my whole life. So she don't get me for this, but she. Anytime I think I was doing something, she'll let me know the truth, man. But that's what you need, though.
That's what you need. That's right. That's right.
What else I learned from this guy, man? Okay. We really going in. We used to hang out, and my parents used to always give me, $5 or $10 a day. I didn't even know I was that blessed until I had these kids that I had.
Right.
But I would always be going to grab Mr. Submarine, I like these sandwiches.
So I'm gonna go in on him.
So me and June, I call him, he's June. I call him June. So we decided our money was low. So he was like, man, listen, I want you to come with me. He came to my house. We went to, I think it was food. was it Food Basket?
Food Basket, right on the
corner.
100. Yeah.
He was
79,
like, man,
whatever.
I'm gonna show you how to get a meal. You know what I'm saying? With just no money. So
Because he was trying to go to Taco. For what happened, we was going to get our haircut.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we only had enough for one haircut. It was like, we both ain't going to get our, because we didn't have enough money to both get our haircut.
Right.
And we were both hungry. We
Okay.
said, okay, our hair going to be trash for the picture, whatever it was. So we're not going to get our haircut. We're going to have a whack haircut. We're going to get us something to eat. He wanted to go to Pepe's.
Pepe's, yeah.
And
Right
I'm
down
like,
the street,
If
yeah.
we go to Pepe's, we're going to get 1 or 2 tacos, man. We're going to still be hungry.
Right.
And that's what happened. So go ahead.
So he was like, I'm gonna show you, man. We're gonna take this money and we're gonna eat good. We went in the grocery store, loaf of bread, was a turkey and ham, cheese, and we got some Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Okay. And when I tell you, and then he really took it far though. He's like, now listen, when you really want to, you might not want to do this. This dude took the bread stock, dipped it in the Kool-Aid and eat.
Oh my God.
You hear me?
Oh my God.
Diabetes is where
Absolutely.
we was preparing ourselves for diabetes. So I said, dude, you dipping this bread and Kool-Aid, man. But I will say this. To this day, I still will give me some turkey, cheese, and a bread. Now, we didn't make sandwiches.
Okay.
You would just put it on one slice and you roll that bread up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man.
Hey.
Yeah.
And we was 18 and all that, 17, 18 at the time.
Yeah, man.
Here's a fun fact. So our birthday is a day apart.
Okay.
So one year, this is where it was so funny. He's so mad at me this one year. So he's a year, he's born in 75, born in 74. So my birthday comes a day before his. So Angie's birthday is 15, mine is 16, his is 17. So on the 16th, that particular year I turned 18. He was still 16. And he said, man, something about this ain't feeling right, man. He was so mad, like, I just can't believe how you two, he did not like that. But then, so I held it over his head until we got older. He's like, no, you can have that now.
You enjoy it.
You're right.
But you know what, though? With him, I feel like we just be
That's what we do.
We're on the phone right now.
Right.
Yeah.
He was always grown, though. So when I met him in high school, I didn't have no facial hair. This dude got hair on his chest. They would literally have to tell him at Jones because it was a business school, so we couldn't have. He would get in trouble for having a beard, and I'd be like, dude, I can't even identify with your problems. Like they would send him home, like we told you to shave, like shave. So he's always been grown since I met him. You know what I'm saying?
Always been
Yeah,
grown.
so that's why I'm like, you go ahead on, embrace that.
Yeah,
Embrace it.
And that grade early, too. Grade super early. So I'm going to do one quick story, Kim. We can go on, and we're going to do it too long. But the album is coming out. But I want to say this one story. Remember, I want you to do your dad asking the guy the question out the car. You know what I'm talking about?
So my dad was driving past a guy, and they were going fast, and the trucks was loud, and he started low, and he just asked him. He said, "Hey, what's going on, man? You making that money?" And he said, "I can't hear you. You making that money?" What? Is you making that money? His voice got just higher and higher and higher. That's one thing about my dad. His voice, when he get excited,
Right.
he
And that's what I
acts
think.
like-
I think that's what Vasser get that high register. So going to his vocal registry
Man, you
and the
remember
whole
the
nine.
craziest stuff,
Man, listen, we go all the way back. I remember going to Carson's Rib for Erica's Sweet 16.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
We all went in the limo for Erica's Sweet 16. That's the honey love over there. That's not in the camera. That's the wife. But I remember all of that. But the name of this album, this particular roll around, is called. What's it called? Oh, they go Feaster.
Believe.
What's up, Doc?
So I don't. The name of the recording is I Believe. I haven't really locked into the name of the album yet. So because we still working on, but everybody loves I Believe. So it's about 90%.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so everybody, come here, Philip. Come here.
Is that Phelan?
Yeah, that's famous.
He probably remember me. What's up, Doc?
So this is
What's up? How you
this is
feeling,
real
baby?
impromptu. Come on, I want you to get in this little.
Yeah, you gotta tell everybody who he is.
Hey, everybody.
What
A beast. This guy's a beast. Okay, so listen. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're podcasting. Listen, this is so funny. Vasser, you know how he used to act with Feaster, so this is so funny. Kimmy, this dude is so cold. He was a kid. He's like a child prodigy. His kid is the same way, his son. We would go out on the road and perform, and if he wasn't there, man, I would be nervous.
He wouldn't like that.
Vasser would be like, man, he said it's going to be okay. And it'll be other guys there, and they were really good, man, but this dude controlled everything. It was never a sweat. He controlled everything. He had the sound, MPC. He controlled the band, everything. And he was always real smooth face, like, It was never a problem, and everything went on as planned. Every keynote or whatever. And he wasn't there. I was like, man, come on, Kevin, how we gonna do today? I would get so scared. I really would. This is how cold it is. So Philip Feaster,
he's producing this with me, and so every song, I still don't do any songs without giving them to him. So
you run through them,
right? So I just thought we were talking about the project. I want him to just talk because he's as much as part of this as I am. You know what I'm saying? Just the format, stop, man. You know what's coming, man. You probably get yours tomorrow. Just the process. You know what I'm saying? And how we just always bounce in just the chemistry. I met Philip.
He was a kid, I remember.
Yeah, he was. Well, he still looks young.
He still looks like he's 20.
Man, I'm young.
Yeah, but your son, okay, you got a whole-grown son taller than you now, so okay, you want to say that.
I think synergy, as I talked about when we met, the way we connected,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We have that same connection, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just send him, and he always takes it, you know what I'm saying, where I see it going, but I just can't, you know what I'm saying, articulate it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly
so this guy, go ahead, Philip.
Don't let him fool you, though. He got a little nervous on me. He called me, like, this week, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what? I'm getting nervous, man. And I need to hear some music. And I'm thinking, hey, man, we've been doing this forever.
Are you right?
Forever, 20. We're going to show up in the room, and it's going to work. We showed up yesterday, and it worked.
I've never seen it, Kim. I've never seen it where it didn't work. These two together, it's like magic.
But I'm consistent, though. I'm always gonna be nervous. It's not. You know me, man. That's how I am.
Old to be nervous.
See,
this too over that.
And he's always been a sense of calm. He has that same smile. I've never seen him upset. If he was, I wouldn't have known it. I've never seen him. I've seen him upset. I've never seen Feaster upset.
He's proven himself many times, but the one thing we were just talking about, Great America, Fred Hammond.
Right.
First time we did it, he had another engagement, and he was not supposed to be there. But we picked a sub. Not gonna say his name, and not gonna, you know. Although I should, but
don't worry about it.
But what he did was he found out through the industry of musicians that this guy was telling me he was gonna be there, but wasn't gonna be there. Okay,
really?
You didn't know this. The first time we did Great America,
right?
And he was gonna fake us out. Sure enough, he did. He canceled his engagement in another state somewhere to just make sure that my first time on that platform in front of Fred, you know what I'm saying, that we represented right. So that's the type of guy he is.
Wow.
You know? And I definitely wasn't paying him what he was getting in that other state. You know what I'm saying? But
and
that was the
worth
friendship.
his weight in gold.
That's all right.
Yeah. So that's
so how long? And I don't want to. I know I'm putting you on the spot. How long have you been? So our Sip and Spill fans will know. How long have you been producing? I would just say, how long have you been a musician? I kind of have an idea, but
I've been my whole life. Ever since I was born, just kind of grew up in it. You know, the typical church kind of thing. Grew up. I have an older brother that play. I have family. Mama sings. You know what I'm saying? So we just kind of grew up in church.
When you started getting the reins and holding the reins for, especially on the keyboard, when you were like the one, like the centerpiece, when did that start for you? What age you say that started for you?
You know, unfortunately, I never saw it. I just kind of grew up playing for Gray Boy, and you know what I'm saying, just being there. So I never looked at it as me being a one. You know what I'm saying? I've always just played my part, man. Just kind of showed up, and Kevin gave me opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Second record, he let me produce it with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always been relationship and friendships like that, man. It's just kind of put me out there.
That's good.
That's crazy. And it's like, if y'all know what I know about these two guys, which you guys will introduce you to the ones who don't know yet, because our audience is more secular. But for the ones who don't know, you're going to find out about these guys. Very, very powerful gentlemen. Very, very great artists. Like I say, Vasser's a killer. Feaster's a killer. Maybe that's not the best term to use, but in the music, these guys are beasts. Impeccable music. So, talking about this Sunday's project, how many albums, how many songs you doing?
Yeah.
And
so we're gonna record seven songs, and we have some studio songs as well. And so it's this Sunday, July 17th, 3:30. Tickets are available. Eventbrite.
Okay.
You got time. When you air this, they'll still have time to come.
Okay.
And so, just very excited about it because, like I said, this is the first one, where I just kind of wrote everything. And so I'm just excited, man, me and Philip back together. And we never parted, but I'm going to say it like this. After the pandemic, to see people still alive and doing what they need, I just consider it a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's one thing I think we've all learned over the years is that tomorrow's not promised. And so that's kind of the mandate that I feel like God put on me to do this. Like, don't procrastinate. Don't wait. I've given you the music. Do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah.
I had a question for both of you guys. So I know you're on all the projects. So, Fisa, do you think this is one of your better pieces of work, or is it kind of like in line with the work you've done in the past, especially considering the collaboration between you and Vasser?
You know what? I feel special about this one.
Especially.
I haven't identified why yet. Like, it could be the pandemic. It could be I think it's probably more so where he's writing from this time. You know what I'm saying? But the songs are more so ministering to me. Now, they didn't up front. You know what I'm saying? I had to like piece them together. And just yesterday, after yesterday's rehearsal, I was listening today to the music. And when I realized it, you know, I'm almost crying. I'm like, oh wait, well, hold on, let me pull myself together. But I feel special about this one. Like I said, I haven't necessarily identified it yet, but I do feel special. I know it's God, but I gotta.
But you know what? Sometimes, Fisa, because sometimes we work in our gift for so long, and then right now, I think this is what I was asking. I was getting to that point when you were younger. You were immersed in it so early. You didn't even notice you was whatever. But I think with the pandemic and what's going on with your life and how life has evolved, you get a chance to reflect.
Absolutely.
And I think at this time, you probably had a chance to like, dang, wait a minute. And you was able to pause, and it probably hit you. Because after so long, you look back and you say all the music, all the stuff all the projects you're on, your name is mentioned, and you did a song. And this time, it resonated differently. We get a little older, and things get a little bit more different. Like, I'm seeing the little buddy, I've been knowing him since he was born. And seeing him, it's like life starts to really show you what's really going down. And it's probably that moment, you're like, dang, I'm grown. I got all these things, and it hits you. It resonated different. What would you say? Is this one of in your opinion, Vash, you think this is one of your better projects? Or, because is it better with age or time, or is it on same in line? What do you feel? You think you've gotten better or gotten more progressive? What do you think?
I think definitely what Philip was saying, this is the most personable record as far as me writing from where I've been like these past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got COVID when it was the fresh batch, as I call it. When they didn't have the vaccines, when people was going in the hospital and not leaving. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the songs that I'm definitely going to share, God gave me while I was in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? It's not over until I say it's over. You know what I'm saying? And so I would just write stuff down, piece it together. So it's all from a person. That's why the title of the session is I Believe, because I think we all can say that we're believing for something. Like, you guys are believing that this podcast is going to just be something that no one has ever seen before. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody's believing in something, and so I want to just tap into that thing that makes you believe and that thing that causes you not to believe. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to encourage people that no matter what the odds are, no matter what it looks like, you got to keep believing, man. So that's really why the name of the session is I Believe.
It's so funny, Kim and Kim. It's like when I come around Vasser, with me going my in and out when it comes to church and the whole nine, he's my connection. Him and Nikki, Pastor White and Sean, these are my brothers. They're all ministers. And so they kind of keep me connected and everything. Real quick, I'm gonna go close this out. I'm really happy about your project. We're going to be here. I didn't do the Eventbrite thing. I forgot. I'm like, you said get the ticket. I'm like, dang, I thought I could pay at the door. But I guess I can't.
You can't. There'll be tickets at the door.
Tickets
at the door.
Tickets at the door, guys. July 17th, 3:30.
I got to pay these guys, man.
Right,
come on, buy these tickets.
Thank you, Fisa. I appreciate you, Doc. I really, like I said, I'm excited, and I love the fact that you've, like I said, come full circle, and you've grown. And I've always get a chance to get that refreshing or that reconnecting through church and ministry and through to God and everything through my friends, my brothers, that are tightly connected. So I really appreciate it. And I thank you again for giving us the opportunity to talk to you, even though sometimes you have relationships with your friends, but that don't mean people feel comfortable with.
No, man, I've been waiting for the invitation, man. Next time we're going to have to go to another location so we can cut up. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all been real mild. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna come on outside the four walls of the church.
Right.
So that, but no, I appreciate you inviting me, man. I'm proud of both of y'all, man. This is dope. Radio show in Atlanta, man. And so you guys are already expanding, man. And so I always knew this was in you, man. So you got the perfect synergy. Y'all be vibing. Y'all was in the car singing the songs all the way to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That was good energy.
That lets you know you watch it. That's good. Because sometimes we don't know who's watching. Some people don't say anything, and then they'll say, "We've been places." They're like, "I know you from the show." Like, what?
Yeah.
But we wouldn't really know. So I appreciate it, you guys. Listen, Vasser, real quick, where can people follow you, subscribe to any of your music, or buy your download? I mean, right now I know that probably isn't available yet to download, but
the new record's out. But my first record, So Glad, my second record, Only You Can Deliver. They're available on all streaming platforms. So you can just look for Kevin Vasser, and then on all my social media platforms, I'm at Kevin Vasser. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, everything. So that's me.
At Kevin Vasser and all media.
And that's
social media
V as in Victor, ASSER. Don't be putting no AI, and people be jacking my last name up.
At Vasser, V as in Victor, ASSER, Kevin T. Vasser. Look for him on all social media platforms. He's here at the ship. Normally, I think almost every Sunday. I don't know if you minister every Sunday because I know sometimes.
Oh yeah, if I'm not traveling now, it's home, and I'm faithful.
Right. This is Fellowship Chicago on 46th and Princeton. Am I right?
Pastor Reginald Wayne Sharp is the pastor.
Pastor Reginald Wayne Sharp. He just became newly installed within the last year or two. Am I correct?
It's going on like 3 years now.
Oh, 3 years.
As soon as he took over, pandemic hit, man. It was crazy. As soon as he took over, we had to shut down church, and that's really when he showed everybody that God was with him, because we actually were able to thrive during the pandemic. We had more people joining because we just tapped into the virtual audience, man. So shout out to Pastor Sharp, man. He's definitely a visionary, man.
And shout out to Pastor Sharp. I have yet to meet him, but I do know Pastor Jenkins, the Pastor Emeritus.
Pastor Emeritus.
Yes,
Emeritus. That's my brother for life.
That's his brother for life. Wonderful guy. And listen, you guys, if you get a chance, the church is beautiful, immaculate. The original, I think the first pastor, Clay Evans,
Reverend
Clay Evans, designed the church. It's one of the most unique designs ever. And then Jenkins came in, and when I tell you modified and do it, I mean, it's real high tech in here. Cameras. So the recording, when if you guys come out there and check it out, if you come and visit Fellowship, it is immaculate. It's a beautiful thing. And I get, can they record here? Because somebody want to do a recording? Is that something
you can always reach out to the church. People are always using them. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's not even just for musicals and church venues. People hold we have they hold conferences here and stuff. So it's definitely set up to accommodate you whatever your need is. Yeah.
Okay. Kim, you got something left?
No, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Listen, guys, thank you so much, brother. Listen, we like you, we love you, want more of you. And remember, it's been real and it's been fun, but every time we do our show, every time we get to connect to you, every time to get around brothers, the life that you love, and friends and family, it's always, don't get it twisted, y'all, it's always real Mickey Ficky fun. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon, okay?